Renegade Immortal, Chapter 631, Its Companion. Hello, welcome back to my channel, Books with AR. In the blink of an eye, several months passed. The battle inside the Fire Demon Country changed greatly, and the Sky Demon Country withdrew their troops. The war, which lasted nearly a century, ended with the ancient demons devouring each other. Ancient demon Beilu completed the first devour and fused with the ancient demon of the Fire Demon Country. He had reached a very powerful state, so he no longer needed Wang Lin's blood to take form and could leave by himself. Wang Lin sat in the lotus position with his eyes closed in the Dragon Lake near the Sky Demon Country's capital. He was expressionless. When he touched the bone, he had entered a mysterious state. After Beilu devoured the other ancient demon's soul, he used a spell to bring Wang Lin here. Time passed, and several more months passed by. On this day, Wang Lin opened his eyes. At the moment he opened his eyes, there was a flash of golden light in them. His current aura was very different from before he went to the Fire Demon Country. The current him looked more like a mortal scholar. Right now, it seemed like there wasn't any celestial spiritual energy inside his body, making him seem like a normal person. But there was a fragrance on his body that gave people a refined feeling. After opening his eyes, Wang Lin let out a mouthful of foul air. My ancient demon race had a spell since the beginning of time. This spell allowed us to comprehend the heavens and earth and make our own spells. This spell can be used on other life forms as well. However, aside from my ancient demon race, everyone else can only experience it once in their lifetime. Wang Lin pondered and then closed his eyes again. The scene of him fusing with the gray-robed figure filled his head. Looking back at it now, it seemed like it was all a dream, and there was lingering fear in his heart. Aside from you, I only gave the inheritance to 2 other cultivators. Both of them were able to feel the change that would occur in the next realm and even gained new understanding of their own spells. In particular, the second cultivator had the highest talent I have ever seen. He managed to create his own spell. That child's talent wasn't any weaker than my ancient demon clan's. Wang Lin closed his eyes and calmly asked, "Who?" "His name is Sun Yun. I wonder if you've heard of him." There was a hint of reminiscence in the ancient demon's voice. Sun Yun. Wang Lin opened his eyes. After pondering for a bit, he said, "Senior ancient demon, there is one final thing left in our agreement." A gust of demonic wind appeared inside the Dragon Lake, forming a vortex. It swept across the area and disappeared before Wang Lin, revealing a very demonic-looking youth. The most noticeable thing about this person were his green, demonic eyes. They gave off a demonic light that made him look very uncanny. After he appeared, he looked at Wang Lin before smiling and saying, "I naturally would not forget my promise to you. While you were comprehending, I used a spell to find the body of the sense from the Pataga." As the youth spoke, he casually waved his hand. Specks of light appeared where he waved his hand, and these lights combined to form an image. The image was of a large chasm. From above, it looked like a giant crack in the ground. Strands of black gas would occasionally rush out. The impact of these strands of black gas caused even the image to tremble. This place is called the Tide Abyss by you cultivators. Your friend's aura is in there. There are only 6 entrances to the Tide Abyss. Go to the one in the Water Demon Country. That is the one closest to your friend. Wang Lin looked at the picture. After pondering a bit, he asked, "What exactly is this Tide Abyss?" The youth hesitated a bit and said, "There are certain places in space where the space itself collapses countless times. A tunnel leading to the unknown forms in these places, since the space there is always collapsed. There is an unimaginable suction force inside the tunnel. The Tide Abyss is a place like this." Ancient demon Beilu didn't say more, and Wang Lin didn't ask for more. Wang Lin could feel that Beilu was hiding a lot from him. However, if Beilu didn't want to speak, then it would be useless for Wang Lin to ask him. Wang Lin's expression remained calm as he slowly asked, "If there are 6 entrances, then is it the same for exits?" The youth faintly smiled. This smile was slightly demonic. He said, "There is only one exit, and it is in the fire demon country." As he spoke, his right hand reached toward the image, and the image collapsed. However, he caught all the specks of light and turned them into a finger-sized jade. Then he waved his hand and threw the jade at Wang Lin. "Take this. Your divine sense can enter it and borrow my sight to see everything inside the tide abyss. This can be considered a gift from me for completing our agreement." Wang Lin caught the jade, clasped his hands, and said, "Many thanks, Senior Ancient Demon." The youth smiled and shook his head. He said, "I should be thanking you. You should go. I need to go into closed-door cultivation for a bit." Wang Lin stood up, took a step forward, and completely disappeared and left the Dragon Lake. The youth looked at the direction Wang Lin went. His eyes gave off a demonic glow. "I only need 100 years of time to completely absorb the other 7 ancient demons. When that happens, I, Ancient Demon Beilu, will be reborn. Ancient Devil Taja, back then you managed to steal the reward after the battle. I want to see how much you have recovered in 100 years. Also, there is this little fellow. He has the aura of an ancient god in his soul. Although very faint, it is also very pure. It is a great tonic for my ancient demon and ancient devil clan. However, the more pure this aura is, the more I dare not devour it." When the youth thought about that aura, his heart trembled. Ancient God. Ah, that was the clan that obtained the majority of the power when the ancient order split. That strand of aura in this little fellow is extremely powerful. The person who left that aura in his body was at least 8 stars. It is very possible for him to be 9 stars. A 9-star ancient god. Even if I were to work together with the ancient devil, it would be too easy for that ancient god to kill me. Most importantly, there was a very well-hidden intent in that aura. That intent made me tremble the moment I felt it. The only thing that can give off that kind of feeling is the royal bloodline. It was due to this aura that I was able to take form after borrowing his blood and not worry about his mind collapsing. Back then, I didn't tell him the truth. Even if someone had the aura of an ancient god, it wouldn't be enough for me to take form without that hint of the royal bloodline. If I, an ancient devil Taja, can live until now, then an ancient god can too. If I were to extract that aura and absorb it, it would definitely be like planting a seed of trouble for the future. However, while I can resist this temptation, I don't know if ancient devil Taja can resist it as well. The Tide Abyss was a very mysterious part of the demon spirit land. This was the source of the tide phase on the outside. Over the countless years, large amounts of magic treasures, spirit stones, and spirit beasts were sucked into the demon spirit land and dragged here. At this moment, in the depths of the Tide Abyss, there was a vast expanse of black mist. There were several people sitting in a 1,000-foot wide open land within this black mist. One of the people was a middle-aged man. This person was very handsome, but there was a hint of his insidious nature on his face. Once a while, he gave off an ambitious aura. He was sitting in the lotus position at the center, and his expression was cold. Thick strands of death energy circled outside his body as he held a strangely shaped skull in his right hand and continuously stroked it. His eyes opened and closed. When his eyes opened, he released a gaze that was so dark and gloomy that it would cause the heart of anyone who met his gaze to collapse. There were 4 people sitting in the lotus position beside him. These 4 people were all wearing blue robes and had large swords behind their backs. Each of their expressions were as gloomy as his. Just at this moment, the black mist before them suddenly churned. A figure quickly charged out of the mist, revealing a man wearing blue as well. His face was bitter as he said, "Senior Greed, the beasts inside the mist didn't scatter, and there are more than before." The middle-aged man was Greed. He let out a cold snort and said, "It was I who underestimated this place. All of the beasts here were taken from the vastness of space and then were strengthened by the mysterious force here. It is natural for powerful beasts to appear here." At this moment, a Dao Lao sword sect disciple who had remained silent said, "Senior Greed, there are too many of these beasts, and each of them is extremely fierce. Normally, these kinds of beasts are extremely famous, but Junior has thought for a long time but can't recall what kind of beast they are." This person was sitting in a very interesting position. It was as if all the other disciples were sitting with him as the center. Greed looked at the person. He knew that the person who spoke was placed very highly in all these disciples' hearts. That was because he was their head senior apprentice brother, Chen Long. This person was the beloved disciple of sword saint Ling Tianhao and was very cunning, and he hid his cultivation so well that Greed had to take a few careful looks to see some clues. On the surface, this person was at the late stage of soul transformation, but in reality, he was at the early stage of Ascendant. Although he didn't have the highest cultivation level among the 12 swords, even Chao Nu, who had reached the mid-stage of Ascendant, was extremely respectful towards him. After hearing Chen Long's words, Greed pondered for a bit and said, "These beasts are indeed extremely strange. Even I have never seen them before. Space is infinite, and the heavens work in mysterious ways, so it is impossible for cultivators to know all life forms. These beasts were likely sucked in by the tide phase that happens every 5,000 years. I'm afraid they have been here for a very long time, so it is not surprising to not recognize this beast." Chen Long no longer spoke, and everyone else silently pondered. Waves of sharp roars slowly came from within the black mist. At the edge of the black mist, there was a beast that was several tens of feet wide, had black hair, and a sharp mouth that flapped its wings as it ordered the area to be surrounded. Its red eyes released intense cold light, and its long mouth would cause the heart of anyone who looked at it to tremble. If Wang Lin saw these beasts, he would immediately recognize them as mosquito beasts. But these beasts weren't golden purple in color.